Hello. Welcome back to me playing almost every extreme sports game ever made. We're now into the glut of PlayStation 1 games. I have a chart of all these games and as they were released over the years, and so you can actually see just how many of these games were released from like 1998 to 2002. It was just like a fire hose. There's just tons of these games, and a lot of them, of course, are not very good. I think this is kind of interesting. I kind of had the hunch when I was putting all these things into the big spreadsheet, like, there's a lot of these in 1999. It's not just Tony Hawk or whatever. It's just a lot. Anyway, the first game on the list is actually one of my least favorite games, and that is One Extreme. And One Extreme, it was one of the first games I actually played on PlayStation, and my brother and I rented a PlayStation from Blockbuster, and it came in a briefcase, and it came with a PlayStation and one controller and all the cables, and I think for whatever it was, $40, we rented this PlayStation, I'm sure like a FIFA or something, and then One Extreme. The thing that I remember specifically about this was that we got this PlayStation 1, we hooked it up to our TV, and for some reason the PlayStation just played at full volume. We couldn't turn it down. It was just like ear-splittingly loud. For that weekend that we rented this, we just had to play everything with the TV muted, and so that is mostly how I remember playing this game. Let's just get into it. There's a lot of these.
Sail through the air. Become one with the wind. Witness the world's most radical sports competition, the Extreme Games. The Extreme Games highlights are now available from ESPN Home Video at Suncoast Motion Picture Company.
Incredible. I was not ready for the Suncoast part of that, but that was just a commercial for the concept of the X Games. One of the best intros. I don't know. It's so good. My main beef with all these extreme games is that they're just racing games, and they're not good. You can choose between skateboarding and biking, and I think maybe street luge is in this. I hope it is. Oh, I remember this weird microphone cursor thing. Oh, there's street luge. Sweet. Charlie Nappy. Like, just on a basic level, this is not even... I don't even know if there are tricks in this game. Okay, you can punch. Very important. Oh, here we go. Oh, God. Oh, street luge guy is punching me. As unfun as this is, I feel like I should at least complete a race. There are no tricks. You can only ollie. Cool. I guess I'm going faster. Oh, there. Okay. Wow. I can't believe they made 3 of these. I mean, again, but finally. All right. I guess that's One Extreme. It's as bad as I remembered. Let's see if 2 Extreme is any better, because I really don't think it's going to be. What are these menus? Hold on. Ugh. Man. All right. The same crap. All right. Maybe this one has tricks? No. An even worse ollie. Gotta get those gates. Famously important part of skateboarding. I want to say this is very slightly better, but if I were to score these, this is a 1.5 out of 5 or 10. And that first one's a 1. Like, it's still like aggressively not fun, but it at least seems a little more understandable.
250!
250 what? Doesn't help that these races are like 2 hours long. Did I do a trick? What is this? Ugh. All right, that's enough. 3 Extreme is the next game, and there's actually a commercial for 3 Extreme.
I want to love you. I want to hold you. I want to need you. And love you some more.
I remember this. Oh, they're actually...
Three Extremes got everything from kick flips, grinds, and 720s to vicious punches and jabs.
Wow. I mean, it looks like they added tricks. That's important, I guess. Let's get it over with. Many of these games, like definitely the snowboarding games around this time, were 989 Studios games. Ooh, that video goes way harder than this game is. Okay. Jeez. I'm sure it's going to be the same extremely boring racing as the first one. Okay. There we go. Whoa. Looked terrible. Can't imagine anyone came into playing 3 Extreme and were like, you know what? That game better have the gates in it. That's the best part. I guess I should try to do a grind. Yeah, looks awful. Let's get on here. Didn't have to push anything. Great. 230 points. Wow. If I had to rate the 1, 2, and 3 Extreme, I would say 2 Extreme was maybe the best of the 3. They are all terrible, and I will never play them again. Next on the list, Street Sk8r with an 8. It's the first one. This one, I think, I remember my friend's younger brother had this game, and it was okay. You're still kind of on a track the whole time. This is the one I mentioned this last time about how it feels like the arcade game Top Sk8r. Turns out, totally different. I could not get Top Sk8r to run, or you can't emulate it. You really do need that big chunky skateboard. But anyway, let's get into it.
All right, let's jam.
So the way this works is you hold a direction on the D-pad and then hit X. I wonder if this soundtrack is only this Less Than Jake song. That'd be weird. K-Grind. Is that real? That doesn't feel like... Not bad, gotta say. Like, weird, but definitely better than 1 Extreme. Whoa, look at that. I don't think there are... I think it's only the 4 directions plus, like, X, and that's it. See, like, this game... We'll get into some of these later games where they have, like, real people. And, like, these low poly people are, like, stylized, so they kind of look right. Some of these older games try to put real people, and they just look awful. Their face is, like, super distorted, and they're so low poly that you can't even tell. I think that's enough of Street Sk8r. Let's look at Street Sk8r 2. I don't know if I ever actually played this. I played a lot of Street Sk8r 1. I like that a lot of this footage is just very unremarkable. They just went to a skate park and filmed some guy. I also like that for a long time they just called these courses. Because I guess in this case they are courses. You are stuck on a track.
3, 2, 1, go!
Okay. Look at that. That's some SSX tricky bullshit going on. So this came out, this is a year after Tony Hawk. So I think like after this point, all the controls kind of mostly stabilize where grind is on triangle. I will say pleasantly surprised by how mostly normal this game is. All right, MTV Sports Skateboarding with Andy McDonald, and this one is really rough. To say, I thought the game was not running well or like correctly because of how bad it felt. What year is this? Also 2000. They shouldn't have released this game. This is just awful. Like, come on. A year after Tony Hawk, everyone was cashing in. Look at this face. I don't know how they screwed this up so badly. It feels awful. I can't even... And the camera does this weird thing. So watch this. I do this, and the camera does this like weird swimmy... Ugh, God. It's a nightmare. Even this park is terrible. Like, where are you supposed to go? I just can't imagine they were working on this game. They bring in Andy McDonald. He's like, whatever, I'm here for the paycheck, sure. Who plays this and is like, you know what? Sweet. Let's let's move on to my favorite of all of the games I'm going to play today. Thrasher, Skate and Destroy, which came out in 1999, right around the same time as Tony Hawk 1. But it's weird, I'll say that. But also, like, I still feel like it has some pretty cool ideas for being not great or timeless like the Tony Hawk games or anything, but kind of cool. Also, like Rockstar published it, which is strange. This game also has a great soundtrack. Like I said, this was, again, right around the same time as Tony Hawk, and control schemes people used in games was not really standardized at all at this point. One of the weird things is that to do like a spin, you can only do like a spin by itself, and you hold circle, and then you can kind of wind into doing a spin. It's very slow. The other half of that is very strange is that like basically like preload your tricks, but with the face buttons. The ollie one, you're just holding it and let go. And then for flip tricks, you hold triangle, and then a different thing on the D-pad will kind of preload that specific flip trick. It's very weird, but it was kind of the first time I played any of these games where this was like, oh, you can kind of go wherever, and you had some amount of like freedom to try to do something interesting. That always felt like a unique thing that, until something like Skate much later, never really felt like you could do that in skateboarding games. This was very specifically like, try to do a really cool trick. The core of it is try to do a cool trick. The controls are a little weird. That's the fun part of skateboarding. The other thing I really appreciate in this game is that it's kind of run based. You can just skate around for as long as you want and then hit select when you want to like start your timed run. And that's what I want to do. I just want to skate here, find something fun to do, and then if I'm trying to take it seriously, you can do that. I spent a lot of time playing this specific level because this bowl's pretty good. It's still weird. It's kind of how I remembered it. I think it's still pretty cool. I'm glad I came back and tried it again. The controls are so strange, it's not really something that you can just like hop back into easily. I still like it. I think it's cool. I think this is the coolest game I've played yet. This really felt kind of like the first time you could just kind of do something like skateboarding for what it is, which is just trying to do something cool and using the tools you have to do that. I rearranged the schedule a little bit to put Thrasher today because I think just playing the Too Extreme and the Street Skaters, that's just kind of a bummer. Those aren't fun. Next time, I think it's going to be mostly snowboarding games. Kind of run the gamut from sort of interesting to really, really bad. Yeah, I'm excited to check those out and keep going just because this is pretty fun. So I will see you next time.